out the wrapper and grease the cake pan with it.
It's actually a pretty good idea.
And she reused the baggies. She rinsed them out and hung them to dry and reused them, which there's nothing wrong with that. She didn't keep like bread ties, like Irene did, and that kind of stuff. And my great-grandma kept scraps of paper. Little scraps of paper. She had tons of people that scraps of paper.
Bunch of high school punks on their mountain bikes, trying to be gangsters. They get their kicks ripped in purses or surrounding some pretty young thing and scaring the hell out of her.
And he didn't tell us this because?
Because he didn't spot this pattern until yesterday. So who these kids are? That busted one of their leaders last week.
I'm Detective Benson, Detective Saber.
What now? Is Chris Lyons at home? Want to talk to him? I'll run to him.
Okay,
Charlie?
easy way or we can do it your way?
No, your way means careful. Officers and badges and turn it upside down for the evening, but I'm sure your neighbors would understand. We'll meet you at our attorney's office. Is there a reason you're harassing my client? Yeah, your client was arrested last week for threatening a mother walking her infant in a stroller. Like that, I know. I was just checking it out. Chris, you've already answered that charge. Hey, yo. Where were you early this morning? My God. You're talking about that woman. The attack in the park. How dare you accuse my son, David? I wasn't there. He was home all night. And don't you say another word.
How about we hear about it from him?
How about we don't? He's 15. Hey, you owe me. You walk the walk. You got anything you can talk the talk? So we like to look at the lady. What happened with that lady? What's that? Where are you? Down with Dot Chalmers. From 1 in the morning till pop 6 o'clock. Around 9. You can check our records.
Let me catch you.
What are you doing?
Last call. Now we're fine. Your victim only had one person's DNA inside her. She was dumped after she was stabbed. Are you sure about that? The hospital says she lost half her blood volume. We didn't find anywhere near that amount of blood at the scene.
Okay, Fibers.
White cotton found in the blood on her clothes, legs, and genitals, meaning she wasn't wearing any pants. The attack followed the rape by maybe 8 hours. And he lay on the wrong. The victim already might have symptoms, but this may help you ID her. She was wearing it. See if you picked it up at the hospital.
Jim.
She wanted to go back to college. Now's your chance. Anything? No. 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 You think she's from somewhere in the Middle East, maybe Israel? Wait, Ellie, look at this.
Amir, Nafisa, 23, School of Journalism, Post Office Box. That zip code looks like these points. She's from Afghanistan. Emergency notification. Dayoud, Tarsi, East Village.
Let me get that much that photo ID.
Darcy? He doesn't live here anymore. What do you want? Who are you? David Hellman. About some ID. Anything with a photo on it? Oh, I don't go ahead. My passport, my David Closet box. Have you seen this woman? No, you should. How long have you lived with? I just moved in last week. You know where Mr. Tarzi is? I'd tell you who the super is if I knew. I got stuff doing with his name on it. You got that trying to fix this shit out? Doesn't matter a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. sorry, if you'll excuse me, I'm late for a meeting.
We watched a show called Celebrity Call, and Ice-T was on it. He had been in the military. He's an orphan. Has no family. And he got out of the military, came back to, where was he, L.A.? Yeah. L.A. He lived in, the bad part, Lawson and down there, Normandy, that area. And he was a gangster, pretty much doing, the whole hustle thing that they do. He wasn't in a gang, but was in that kind of attitude. And he said he went to a club. It was a club that was open from 9 at night until 9 in the morning or something. And he went in the club, and he said he'd been there longer than he thought. When he went out, it was like broad daylight. And he said he was like totally awake in the club, and when he walked outside and got in his car, started getting that, like, oh shit, I'm really tired. And like every stop sign, he'd close his eyes for just a second, and then wake up. Well, apparently he got to Slauson and Western or something, and there was a light. It's like one of those 6-lane streets that they have in L.A., like Sepulveda down by the airport, and he fell asleep, waiting for the light, and his foot slipped off the brake. It didn't go on the gas, but it slipped off the brake enough to let him roll into traffic. And he got broadsided at a car going 50 miles an hour or whatever.
He was in one of those freaking cracker box.
He was in that little Porsche 914 or whatever that looked like a matchbox, He broke 60 bones on one side. In fact, he was so out of it that they actually, in the paper, it said he was killed in a collision because of the shape of the car, the way the car looked. It said he was killed in a collision.
Wow.
And he didn't have any ID on him because he was being a thug. So he didn't have any ID on him, so he ended up being like a John Doe in the hospital. And it took how many weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks before one of his friend's mothers finally realized that he hadn't been around.
Wow.
And she went and got him, and
Then he went into the...
then he went to the VA. He almost, they didn't think he was going to walk again.
Yeah, he was something for a long time.
And she's the one who told him, look, he's a veteran, transfer him to the VA hospital, told his name and all that. And they transferred him to the VA hospital. Otherwise, he said he probably wouldn't be walking today. 60 bones. We were trying to figure out what the hell you could break. And it was all on the one side of his body. 50 bones on one side of his body.
That's a lot. It would have to have been hands and feet.
Everything.
Oh, yeah,
Because I
everything.
counted just the major ones. I came up with 23. That's counting all your ribs. And it's, it's your ankle, your knee, your tib, femur, pelvis, hip, your ribs, your collarbone, your shoulders, your humerus, ulna, radius. That gave me 23. And I'm like, okay, you got all your fingers and all your toes and all the metatarsals and all that stuff. He had to fracture everything.
Everything.
To
And
get to 50. His jaw. It was like, what the hell?
that's crazy.
His name is actually Tracy.
I couldn't have told you his name.
Yeah, Tracy. I don't know if that's his last name, but that's...